protest rally in Verona, Virginia, organized by 3%ers Larry Lewis and Penny P.C. Rudder, ultimately ended in a conference room at the company they were protesting against. The protesters had told local police to expect 100 to 500 people at their protest rally today outside of the Augusta County Government Center, but only 12 people showed up for the protest. As the 3%ers were setting up their canopy and podium and speakers for the protest, a process server walked up to Penny Rudder and served her papers.
Got some papers for you.
Okay.
Thank you. You have a good one. Were you just served?
Yeah.
Is that the Nexus guy?
Yep.
That's the Nexus guy?
Yeah.
The papers were a notice letting Rudder know that Nexus Services had filed a defamation suit against her and Lewis for saying things like Nexus's CEO and president is wanted by the FBI and was on America's Most Wanted, and for claiming Nexus is involved in a form of human trafficking and violating federal laws. Here's Penny Rudder's reaction after being served.
They served me with papers from the Commonwealth of Virginia. It says Nexus Services plaintiff versus Larry Lewis and Penny Rudder. Defendant complaint. Now comes plaintiff. Nexus Services Incorporated, through undersigned counsel pursuant to all applicable rules and laws, files this complaint alleging the named defendants is engaged in defamation of the plaintiff.
I grilled Larry Lewis about these racist Facebook posts he had made.
Answer one of his questions. Will you answer one of mine?
Yeah.
He said you're not racist. So how do you explain the post that he's talking about? The post that he showed me was a gorilla and Michelle Obama beside each other. You said, which one of these is Obama's bitch?
Okay, yeah, I can explain that one real
Is that
well.
racist? Is that?
Yeah, I can explain that real well.
Yes, sir.
For 8 years, I've been sitting and watching Obama destroy our country, the country I love, and I would put anything up to disgrace Obama.
But you understand how people take that as racist, putting a black woman and an ape beside each other? I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, I know. I want to add something to it.
I understand.
Somebody
that.
just put Trump up the other day with an orangutan next to him and said, "Who looks the best?"
Orange hair.
Or a separate
Same thing.
head.
Yeah, same thing.
The word
It's called
racist
freedom of
has
speech.
been overused.
Has
I
nothing to
understand
do
it's
with
called freedom of
racism.
speech, but you understand why somebody would take that as being racist?
No,
There's another
no, because
picture-
I didn't take it as
There was
racist when they
another
did that with a
picture
white man.
of President Obama with a lip mound or something in his face, and he had on like all the African tribal stuff.
Yeah.
He said Obama in his native attire.
Yeah.
And then also I noticed that you said to Brad Zinn in the newspaper that everybody of every religion is welcome here today. But you have posts on your Facebook page that say, I'm anti-Muslim and proud. So
Okay.
you want Muslims to come and fellowship with you if they're patriots, but you're against their religion.
Maybe you should read the Quran and do a little studying on the
No.
Quran.
Not for me. I'm just asking you these questions. Don't point this at me. These are questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've studied the Quran, and I know what they're about, and they can't coexist with our government.
I also grilled Lewis about his protest of Nexus.
Exactly which procedure or business practice that Nexus is involved in are you guys protesting? Because everything that leading up to this rally that you guys had said wasn't true, as far as like they had houses for illegal immigrants and that they were getting charitable money to build armed compounds around the nation. All that's been proven 100% false. So what exactly are you protesting? I noticed that you had said, Larry Lewis had said, if people want to come here, they need to do it, take steps to do it legally. And I want to know what Nexus is doing that is violating that part of the Constitution.
Well, once they cross the border illegally,
They're criminals.
But what is Nexus doing that is promoting that? Like, what are they doing that's bringing illegals here? Because they're not
Aiding
bringing
and abetting.
How are they
That's what I was
aiding
just
and
getting ready to say. Aiding and abetting.
So the laws of this country allow somebody that's detained under illegal immigration, ICE status, to get out on a bond, on a bond, and that's all Nexus is doing.
That's correct.
It's providing a service.
That's
for them
not
to get
what they
out on
told me.
yeah, they're making millions
They
of
told me
dollars
that
off
they
our
would
brokers.
defend any illegal immigrant that commits a crime.
I'll
Now,
ask
if-
them about that, but I don't think that's
If
correct.
they're paying their bonds and their bail to get them out on an extra crime after they've come here illegally,
I haven't
that's
seen
not
any
good.
evidence of that. I've
Well,
not seen any
who-
evidence of that, not one time.
let me think a minute. Who was the illegal immigrants that ambushed our border patrols and killed the one gentleman? They said they would defend them.
Are they currently defending them?
No, they're not.
Once the 3%ers realized they had a much lower than expected turnout, they decided not to speak at the podium and told us they were just going to hang out for a little bit. I was live streaming my interactions with the 3%ers. While I was live streaming my interactions with the 3%ers, Larry Lewis had said he would be willing to sit down and talk to Nexus Services president and CEO Mike Donovan if Mike Donovan was interested.
I'm open to talk to him at any time.
No sooner than Larry Lewis said that, while I was live streaming, Mike Donovan, who had been watching our live stream, contacted us and asked us to put Larry Lewis on the phone. And here's what was said.
The phone's in the hand right now of Larry.
Hey, Larry, listen, we've got an awful lot of food over here, man. And if you'd like, you and your folks, when you're finished, you can come over and we'll be more than happy to feed you. So, if you're interested, just make your way on over. You're more than welcome.
Okay, appreciate that.
After some debate and conversation, Larry Lewis decided to go to the Nexus campus and meet with Mike Donovan. A peaceful dialogue took place. You can see the whole conversation on the Breaking Through Facebook page. Hours after the meeting, I caught up with Mike Donovan outside of his home in Augusta County.
I was watching the Breaking Through live coverage, and I noted that Mr. Lewis, one of the organizers, had said that he wanted to sit down with me, but he had never contacted me, and so that really kind of took me by surprise. So I thought to myself, well, I mean, why not talk to the guy? I mean, if he came up to the campus and said I want to talk to you, I'd talk to him. So it's basically the same thing. But these protests, these rallies, they're just disruptive, and they make people nervous in the community. And it just, if you can do it a different way, why not, right? So I thought, well, I'll just talk to him. There's no problem has ever been made worse by talking. It may not get better, but it's either it's going to get better or it's going to stay the same. Talking to people makes a difference.
When I asked Donovan if he thought Lewis was sincere when he said he wasn't a racist, Donovan gave him the benefit of the doubt and pointed to the fact that Lewis declared he doesn't post stuff like that anymore as proof for now.
I think he really doesn't want to be a racist. I think I helped him understand some ways to not be a racist. Because, you can not want to be a racist. But if you post a picture of Barack Obama having sexual relations with a bucket of KFC chicken, saying I'm gayer than a mofo, not only are you racist, but you're homophobic and you're a lot of other things, and that's a problem. And so I actually think he got it, because at the end he said that he's not posting those memes anymore, and I took him to say that he wasn't going to anymore. And that's actually a good thing. Like if he really isn't going to communicate that way anymore, that's a positive step. Sometimes people say things, and this is true for all of us. Sometimes we'll say things that we don't realize offend other people, and it might be very offensive. Maybe this is what happened with Larry. Maybe Larry was so focused on his disgust for Barack Obama that he allowed himself to post something that you and I and most people would find outwardly racist. I have to take him at his word that that's not what he intended. Now, if he goes and does it again, then I'll realize I got lied to. I'm going to take him at his word. I'm going to believe him, and I'm going to hope that he doesn't do it again, and I hope that our dialogue helped him understand how not to look racist. Because when you post those things, you look racist.
During the roundtable, Donovan offered to drop his lawsuit against Lewis and Rudder if they put it in writing that what they said about him wasn't true. I asked Donovan, did he anticipate them accepting his olive branch?
I certainly hope they do. I mean, for me, I got lawyers either way, so it's not going to cost me anything to prosecute this lawsuit. Ms. Rudder will have to come down several times. Mr. Lewis will have to come in. They're going to have to hire counsel. They're going to spend $25,000, $50,000. We're going to have a trial. There's no way we're going to lose, because the stuff they said was absolutely defamatory. I mean, it doesn't make any sense for you not to want to put that aside. I didn't want to push it today, though. I wanted to make them aware that if they retract those incredibly defamatory statements, then I'll drop the lawsuit, because I don't want to punish these people. And I actually want to honor the fact that they came in and talked to us. That's an honorable thing. And so the way to honor that, I think, is to say, look, we'll just cut this out. We don't have to go to court. If you admit that you were wrong, that makes it better, right? Because you can write a statement, say I was wrong about this, and that it doesn't change the fact that you did it. But mercy and grace is hugely important. We have to forgive people when they do something wrong. I want to be forgiven if I do something wrong. I got to think they do too. So I'm pretty confident they'll take me up on my offer.
I reached out to Larry Lewis after the roundtable as well, and we spoke via telephone.
I appreciate him taking the time out to talk with us.
Do you think you have a better understanding? Do you still have a problem with what they do?
I understand it more, but I still feel like with him doing what he does, he encourages people to cross the border illegally.
I mean, me personally, reporter aside, I think it was a pretty. I mean, I know you didn't have the turnout that you wanted, and that probably disappointed you. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, the fact that you were willing to accept this man's invitation and go over there makes, and you guys talked, and I mean, you guys all stood your ground on your principles and things like that. But I mean, it was peaceful, respectful, and I think pretty much everybody walks away a winner out of this thing. So to speak. I mean, I don't know if there's winners and losers in this, but I mean, I think that nobody lost in this. I mean, it was a pretty decent interaction, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we walked out of there, and the folks that were in there, I think they look at the militia and the 3%ers a lot differently, and we actually look at those folks in there a lot differently.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
And nobody got hurt, nobody got arrested, everything was peaceful. Yeah, it was a good day.
A day that had everyone nervous and on edge, including local and state law enforcement, ended peacefully with no violence, and although Lewis and Rudder may have been humbled and disappointed by the low turnout for their protests, I think it's fair to say everyone walked away today a winner. Respectful, honest, and open dialogue always has a better outcome than name-calling and intimidation.
This not be a popular version. No, it's true. I mean, there's a...
In Verona, Theodore Whitelow for Breaking Through.